Welcome to today's episode of the Mid-20's podcast. My name is Nick. I'm excited about today's episode because it is the first episode with an interview. Obviously, it's a learning experience for me on how to ask the best questions, to be able to tell the best story as possible, and, learn as much as I can from this individual. Today's guest is DJ Syon. We talk about him starting off his DJ career, his inspirations behind that, things that he's involved in today and has been doing recently, his experience hanging out with Drake, and his involvement in the Austin music scene. I think I want to start off every episode with kind of a word of encouragement or words of encouragement. A lot of people have ideas about things that they want to do or start, but I think a lot of it just comes down to commitment and really wanting to do it. A lot of people are worried about what people might think of them or what the perception of their audience might think of them. And I think that ultimately, who cares about what people think of you and what you're doing? As long as you enjoy what you're doing, then and you're happy with what you're doing, then there's no problem in that. And you never know what one little project or one little hobby might turn into. Everyone wants to do what they love, and right now, I might enjoy talking into this microphone, but it could become, a profession, or it could become residual income down the road. I don't have any expectations of that, but, who's to say that might not happen? Syon brings this up in our interview, kind of regarding committing to an idea or, just being able to learn from mistakes of something that you've started and being able to craft the best skill that you can. You can find the podcast on Spotify, Soundcloud, Stitcher. We're waiting for iTunes still. It's still waiting to get approved. But follow the Instagram at the Mid-20's podcast, and the Twitter, it's just at Mid-20's podcast. So make sure you follow us on there. We'll provide links to each episode, and then also on Buzzsprout you can listen to each individual interview, and then there's the links for the Spotify and the Stitcher. So I'm excited to introduce my friend DJ Syon. All right, so my guest today is an awesome friend of mine. He's a successful DJ, ultimate hype man, blog writer, aspiring actor, a hustler, a hard worker, and a man with a plan, just following his dreams and having fun doing it. The one and only DJ Syon.
Yo, thank you for having me, man. Thank you. Thank you all for listening too.
Dude, so when I was thinking of this whole concept, you were kind of the first person I thought to ask. Just because we've kind of interacted with each other quite a bit, I guess during college more, and now that you've moved to Austin, every time I come through, I just want to link up with you because the energy is always positive. It's always positive vibes with you, and I'm glad that you are, interested in supporting what I'm doing right now, and it's always good to have that circle of people that are willing to support you and, and I guess the initial stages of a new project. So I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for even making me like any of your choices, bro. It doesn't matter if I was first, second, or third, just being a part of this and also seeing you and you seeing me, man. It's been a long time coming.
Absolutely, man. So I guess I'm really interested in how you got started DJing, because that is your main hustle and what you've been doing for quite a while, and it's evolved, I'm sure, from what you thought from day one into what it is now. So I know you grew up in Houston area, and I'm assuming just being around the Houston music culture, that is kind of what inspired you long term to get involved in music and get involved in DJing.
Yeah, you're right, a little bit. It's crazy, man. People who know me before the DJ Syon and stuff, they know that I played football. And also played football at ASU, which we went to school together at ASU. Right. And what always came up was like people asking me to play music in the locker rooms. Like they would always ask me, bro, you always have like the hottest tracks, or you man, like play that new track that you got, man, like play that. So just coming from Houston, me starting off football in there, and then also all the great talent, of course, I was playing Houston music and stuff, but really I would just attest that to football, because I played defense and I had to, find some type of playlist soundtrack, to get me in a
Hyped
mood.
up.
Yeah, playing defense is just it's a very, 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 very violent, So,
Absolutely.
and then also I'm coming in there and I'm like not the biggest person in the world, and I need some type of juice and motivation. So I did that, and then I went to ASU, and they always loved me playing music and stuff, and got into a couple of problems and stuff with football and academics. And one day I was just like, man, let me just go on and take this limb. And I used my money that I got from from scholarships and grants, and I used it, and I bought DJ equipment, and I bought speakers, I bought a DJ turntable, and a new Mac laptop, and it was the best investment that I've ever made in my life.
So you think that ultimately that decision right there, you were going out on a limb. It was quite of a risk you were willing to take, but from starting and just using the financial aid or scholarships and grants to purchase, I guess, the foundation of what you wanted to do. With that, like, did you think that you'd make a career out of it, or were you just kind of wanting to see where it went?
Anything that you do, you give yourself a realistic view, a view of you in the future where you want to be, and also a view of where you don't want to be. It's like those three things that go through your head. You might not go through it at that one time, but at some point in the process, you will. You'll start being like, am I just doing this for fun, or am I, I'm really about it. I'm really trying to make this happen. So it took me like a little bit at first. I was kind of just doing it just to release something and, give people something to talk about. And then, I took it and I was like, bro, I can rock some parties. And I remember the very first party that I did, it was in Angelo. It was at one of the houses in Angelo, and I was DJing on the stove, bro. I brought some computer speakers, and like, man, bro, we rocked it. We rocked the house party, bro. It was crazy.
And from that moment, you were just kind of like, I can do this. And
I can do it. Yeah, I can do it. I really was just questioning, like, hey, can I actually mix live? And, I just had to go out there and throw myself into the fire. And that's really how everything worked out. Like, nobody told me how to do anything. Nobody taught me how to DJ. Nobody said, hey, you should be a DJ or anything. I just went out and I saw something and I wanted it and I got it. And I didn't ask for help. I just made it happen.
Definitely. I think that a lot of people are, I guess, scared to commit to an idea because they don't know what it will ultimately end up being, and they don't want to potentially waste their time on something that's not worth it. But I guess if you don't try, then you don't know.
Exactly, man. That is a big testament on what, I'm doing even today. If you don't try, you don't know. A lot of people just have a fear of failure.
So that first house party that you DJ'd, what year was that? Do you remember?
I remember the exact date, bro, because I would never forget the date. February 13th, 2013.
Damn. That's almost going on 7 years now.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy to see how things have changed, man. It's amazing.
So, yeah, I met you, I guess that was my freshman semester of fall 2013. So I guess you would have been doing this for, I guess, about 7 months at this point. And I guess that's still fairly new into, I guess what you see as a career. That's the initial stages. And I met you through Josh Trujillo, and he was just like, you gotta hit up DJ Syon. We gotta have him for this party. I've been, he had been to things where you were DJing, and I guess you have maybe DJ'd at the house before then, obviously, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I did. I'm pretty sure. After that, like after my first one, I guess word started spreading, you know. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did. I think it was like one of those the ending of the semester events, and also before subject change and we go on to another subject, man. Big shout out Josh, man. Big shout out Josh. I hope the whole family is good, man. I see you with your kids and stuff, man. Enjoy, live life.
I was talking to him just yesterday or he was giving me some ideas, so he said he'd be listening, so he'll definitely appreciate that.
Oh yeah, big shout out, man.
So I know you started doing all the DJ stuff, but eventually you got into doing radio. And what motivated you to start doing all of the radio stuff?
I just wanted to, like with DJing or anything that you're doing that's helping yourself out, you want to brand yourself in a way to where you beat out your competition, or your competition doesn't even have a chance to compete. So then basically how I saw that was me going to the radio station and me getting a radio show, so it was pretty tough at the beginning. I didn't know, what was going on. So then also me just being new to DJing, it was tough, but man, like a lot of overnights, a lot of, time put in, I was able to actually get a radio show with Kixie, man. And that radio show to this day is like one of their best ever radio shows that they had, based on the numbers and stuff.
So you just kind of jumped into the studio and started making the mixes and putting the show on, and it boosted your notoriety and then I guess the station as well.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I remember a couple times, my program director came up to me and he was like, "Hey man, like, you topped, you're number one in the area, for your show." And I was just sitting back and I was like, man, really, man, it just goes back and shows, if you take a chance on yourself and, you're serious about the chance and you're not gonna let shit stop you, bro, you will, you will find that, it's gonna all be worth it and you're gonna be right where you want it to be.
Definitely. So what do you think you would be doing right now if you weren't DJing, or if you hadn't started DJing?
Bro, good question, man. I probably would have been back playing football. I mean, I don't know if I would be playing right now or not, just because it's so long from like 2012, 13 year until now, so now I don't know, but maybe even coaching football, so sticking with something that I know. Also, just hanging out with like a lot of my other friends and supporting them even more. The bad thing about me DJing is that I'm not always able to go and like see my friends, or like go chill out and experience everything with my friends, because I am working, I am a business.
You mainly work the popular nights, which are the weekends, which is when a lot of other people have their time off.
Yep, I gotta get that check, man. Gotta get that check, bro.
So one thing that I'm familiar with slightly, and some people may or may not be, is you're connected and associated and you're friends with Maxo Cream, which lately, and even I guess in the past 3 years, has been blowing up and getting very big, and just put out the major label album. And I guess since before then had been doing mixtapes and stuff like that. But what is your involvement with that? How did you guys meet? And I guess what are your responsibilities, if any, to be a part of the team, or a part of the entire organization?
As far as all that goes, man, I've known Maxo way before he was rapping and stuff. I remember
from Houston, so
yeah. I stayed. My grandmother stayed like in the same neighborhood as him. I got introduced to him, from one of my childhood friends, and we hit it off pretty early. I started off being Maxo's DJ, and at the time, Maxo was already rapping, and I was just now coming into DJing. So, had a lot of, ups and downs with DJing for Maxo, because, it's two people who are still learning their craft and getting stuff together. But me and Maxo have always stayed down with each other. It's always love and stuff like that. So then now the question that I get the most is, hey, Maxo's over here. Are you like, why are you not DJing for him and stuff? And my answer is that I wanted to be my own persona, my own DJ. I didn't want to be, have it in my bio. Oh, I'm Maxo Creams DJ, and people know me as Maxo Creams DJ. No, I want to be I want to be known as DJ Syon, or just Syon, or like who I am, and my role for the team now. I just really anybody that's in Cream and stuff, like I'm telling people about their music. I'm also one of my past events that I threw. It's called Fubu Palooza. I actually bring out, Cream Click members for each of these shows. Every time they're in the city or got something, hey, I'm like, bro, let me just throw you on the show, bro. Come out here, perform, and I got you a slot, somewhere like a headliner time and stuff, man. Just come and show love. And that's where I am. I just show love to every people, and they all come up to me and ask me for advice, musically, in life. And it's always a great time chilling with Maxo and the whole Cream Click family. Big shout out to Cream Click Global. That will be the next step, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the fans will be excited, for this next step, and I will be hands-on with that.
So after you left San Angelo, you went straight to Austin. Is that correct, or was there a stop in between there?
No, I went straight to Austin. Austin was just a great location. It was just close to everything, and I was so tired of having to drive 6 to 4 hours to go to do my shows that are outside of Angelo. So I was like, bro, I need to make some type of compromise with my car, bro. My car's dying.
Austin is very heavily music inspired. Why do you think it attracts so many people that want to get into music to Austin? I know LA is obviously the best and the largest place to go, but what do you think attracts so many people to go to Austin to try and get involved in the Austin music scene?
Austin is it's like a baby LA. As far as there are things to do, not as much to do as LA, and it's not as crazy as LA. So in the taxes and all different types of stuff, factor in.
Similar lifestyle, but not for the California price.
Yeah, I say Austin is a great starting point because all of the neighboring cities too, they have to come and visit Austin. They feel like they need to come and visit Austin all the time. So I can't tell you how many times I'm DJing, throughout the week, and I have people come up to me that are not from Austin, right. And also, they have a great. I think Austin it's one of the places with the most venues.
Definitely, like per square mile or something like that.
Yeah. So you're able to bring, artists and stuff like that all the time. So, I remember there was like random nights that I saw people. I remember the random night where I went to go see Nipsey Hussle at Vulcan. And, it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday or something, and then they bringing out, Nelly's here, Trey Songz was here, Travis Barker was here, all within like the last month. It's been a lot of people just coming in and out, and there's a lot of people who I've missed. But also what I see is another reason why DJs and artists want to come here is because there is a lack of local talent. So then people come here and they're like, okay, well, I can get on the shows because they have so many shows. Then also I can compete because the talent can't keep up with me. So that's kind of how I see it, and I see how things are going.
You already had events and some stuff going on down there before you moved, but how long have you been doing the Austin and 6th Street circuit, and where did you start?
Okay, so starting as far as when I moved down here, the first 2 days that I moved down here, I had 2 shows.
Damn.
And they were with the homie Kenny G.
I'm familiar.
Kenny saw that I had talent. Kenny was rocking with what I had going on, and he booked me, for 2 events as soon as I got out there. And then I had a friend from Houston. He was connected with the frats in Austin. He went to UT for like a little bit, and then he transferred. So then he was able to give me some gigs because he was just a fan and liked my positivity, and he was just like, bro, hey man, like I know some people, some pretty dope people who need some DJs,
Right.
Boom. So then I got into that, and then what I did was to get on 6th Street was I just pulled up on people and started talking, to management. And so that like really like the best way to do it is to, somebody has no choice but to talk to you if you're in their face.
Right.
So I just eager beaver, bro. I'm out there. I'm trying to get it, man. I'm trying to go on and get this bag and get to this money and make sure I'm building upon my name. So then I had 3 circuits. So I had the circuit with Kenny, who was throwing his own shows and own thing. Then I had the circuit with the Frats, and then also 6th Street.
So you had quite a bit going on.
Yeah, at that time, like very busy.
No days off.
Going everywhere. Yeah, no days off at all. And it was just my point in time to where I was just running around trying to get any and every gig. So
since you've been on 6th Street for quite a while, would you prefer Dirty 6th or West 6th?
West 6th. I DJ on West 6th currently at Lux Lounge. If anybody's down there and want to come check me out, it's right by Pop. And I like West 6th, man. I don't have too much of the hassle and too much of the college kids and
the nonsense,
the commotion, and just all that. Not as much. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen,
right?
But these things, aren't as reoccurring as on Dirty.
Definitely. So, what would you say is the most important thing you've learned over the last, 3 years since you've been in Austin, and what keeps you motivated to just keep on finding new ways to be successful or find better ways to, improve whatever process that you're doing, whether that be DJing or anything involved with events, or, just what have you learned and what keeps you motivated?
Just, really what keeps me motivated is I think of like a lot of like different things, if people just thought that I just saw myself DJing, you really don't know me. Like, I wanted to do a lot of things, and now I'm starting to do them. Now I'm modeling and I'm acting, and actually for an agency, shout out the Brown Agency. That's my representation, and I literally just started it like 3 months ago. I went on a limb, and made sure these people had to talk to me, and they liked me immediately. They gave me the offer as soon as I left the office. And it's just what keeps me going is knowing that I just haven't reached the top yet. I haven't reached, where I want to be. But also the thing that's added with that is the fact that I'm progressing still. Like, I'm seeing that my effort is actually working, So that's really big.
So I know back in the Angelo days when I would do events up at Amnesia or at the fraternity house, it was always fun to jump over there with you wherever you were DJing at and just jump around and just be wild. So obviously I saw that video of you. I guess it was probably Warehouse Live in Houston.
Yeah,
right?
Warehouse Live in Houston, man. That's one of my most famous videos. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The one that I posted earlier. It's just
bro, people love it. I love it.
It's so fun.
You know this shit, let's go! What? Come on,
Oh man, it's super fun. That is like one of my many illustrations, of how I DJ. And then what was crazy was, the people who would see me, at shows and stuff like that, they would, give me compliments on like how like I controlled the crowd and how I interacted with them and how I, got them jumping. And then, I had a manager at the time, Alec Renteria, big shout out Alec. He was like, bro, we got to get this on camera, and like good camera, bro. Like you're too good to not get this on camera. People need to see this. And I got my boy Daniel Black to shoot the video, and and edit it. You know, big shout out Daniel Black. You know, if you need your video shot, you need something professional and done in a timely manner, man, go holler at my boy Daniel Black, man. Daniel Black made the magic of that whole video, bro. Like, and Daniel is so fast, bro. Like, he will, if he shot something right now, he will have it done immediately, and he will have it done for you in Instagram stories. So then what I was doing, I was uploading videos, and people saw that video, man, and went crazy, bro. Man, crazy thing, like about like the house parties at the house, bro. Man, I still remember to this day. It was hot. It was hot as fuck in there, and you know, like usual. But I was sweating so hard, and I was turning up, bro. Like, I come out my shirt and everything. This is the first time or only time I've DJed without my shirt on, and I'm standing on the desk table. I
have a video.
Bro,
of
I
that,
catch
actually.
a cramp. I'm catching a cramp while I'm doing it, and I'm trying like my hardest to like stop myself and stuff. But I'm trying to get some water, and there's no water. Everybody got liquor. I'm like, bro.
Bro, yes. Like, someone give me something, and it's all like room temperature booze.
It's terrible. But man, like those times, it's like that's what, you know, helped make DJ Syon in those times.
Definitely. So you were talking about doing events in San Angelo, and you earlier mentioned you put on your own event. You said Fubu Palooza, right?
Fubu Palooza is our retro themed party. We usually bring out a retro themed artist, 2000s themed artist. We have we make sure everybody has a dress code, and we also
gotta stick with the theme.
Yeah, we stick with the theme, of course. You know, I can't do Fubu Palooza and like people not in there wearing like some type of FUBU or something like, you know, that was around that time.
Right.
And also, you know, I put the local talent or talent, you know, that's around Texas, you know, who is just looking for a platform to do something on, and, you know, have some type of footage, some type of add to their resume. I put them on the shows and stuff like that. You know, of course, you know, we select people, and you know, it's a great time, man. It's a great time.
So why do you think it's, you know, important for you to be able to provide an outlet for people like that are looking for that opportunity?
People just see shows and they think that they need to be on every show, or, you know, that they have to be on a show, and they get upset, you know, about not being on the show. But really, what I saw was people weren't practicing. You know, people weren't, you know, even given a platform of their peers to perform in. People will be like trying to jump straight on to get on like a Trippie Redd show or something, you know, something like an artist that, you know, that was big and hot at the time, or, you know, and they're just fighting to get on those shows, and they're not getting on them, and they get discouraged and stuff like that. And, you know, I use these times to coach people, you know, and after the shows, I call each and every artist and I let them know, like, you know, what I think that they need to work on and stuff like that, you know, how I can help, you know, and, you know, it's just a great experience, you know, for them to do that. And also, I stop, you know, DJing, and I go and I tell all the artists to link up. You know, I make sure that all these artists are exchanging information with each other. And, you know, it's just, I just kind of use it.
Facilitating the network.
Yeah, you know, like my events, you know, they're not like put on to like have, you know, like a big artist come and like for me to have like a big payday and all this stuff like that. Right. You know, they're really, you know, right now I'm in a level of just trying to make something good for the people and something that they trust. You know, they trust what I tell them, and they trust, you know, my platform and people who know me, and, you know, my network. So I just allow them to come and interact.
Definitely. Do you have a favorite event or a favorite show that maybe you've put on or you've been a part of, I guess, in your past 7 or 8 years of DJing?
Favorite show or event? Man. I would have to say, man. I'm gonna give you like 3. You know,
okay.
Maxo Cream and Friends.
Which is that a South by Southwest
South by
event?
Southwest event, and it was kind of like announced like late. You know, it was amazing because it was like the whole gang was there. You know, the gang and Friends was there, and everybody had a great performance, man. Like there was, you know, it's been a long time when I've seen a show, you know, have as many people as Maxo's did, and have every single artist have a great performance. And just the energy of the crowd was there. Man, I had people, you know, like talking back with me. You know, we're conversating with the crowd and shit like that. You know, like we just vibing off each other's energy. That was a great one. I wish it was at the outside part, because if it was out on the outside one, man, that would have sold out, because they would have been able to fit more people in there. You know, some people got turned away. You know, a lot of people got turned away and stuff because we weren't able to fit people in there. But that ski mask, the ski mask event, you know, that's part of the video was
in Houston.
Yeah, that was a real good one, man. His whole tour leg on Texas, with Texas, you know, I was on 3 of the shows.
Okay.
They were all great. All of them were like amazing. And if I gotta put one that I'm actually like a part of in DJing. Ah, man, Xavier Wolf, man. I have like a great time doing Xavier Wolf shows, man. His crowd is crazy. He has a cult following. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, man, amazing. Like, big shout out to all 3 of those artists, man.
So do you have a specific song? I guess from time to time it'll adjust, but that you can put on that you definitely know is gonna pump up a crowd.
At concerts, yeah, I do. I have a couple. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2. I'm gonna give you 2. If I just had to go, no, scratch that. I'm gonna give you 3.
All right, go for it.
Cause I can't pick. Finito by Chief Keef.
I'm gonna reference that here in a minute, but that's number 1.
And Chief Keef had a great show too, man. I didn't even add him on the shows, man. I did Chief's show in San Antonio, man. Great energy, great dude. He's gonna be in Dallas. If you're in Dallas, pull the fuck up.
What day is that?
Man, I don't even know. I'm not even on it, man. I just know it's gonna be great energy.
He's gonna be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be great energy. Next song would have to be Waka Flocka. Oh, let's do it. Because as soon as it comes on, I fuck my money up. Now I can read up. I got a crazy video with Kenny G when I played that song. Man, like that's just as epic as the Ski Mask one. I'm not gonna lie, it's up there, bro.
I'll need to check that one out.
It's up there. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you in a few after this.
All right.
And then third song would have to be "Look at Me" by.
That's a good one.
Yeah, by X, bro. Look at me, man, and then "Look at Me" has just been, bro. As soon as I fucking turn it on, it's like crazy.
Everyone's jumping around.
And there's some more, but like those songs, like it just don't fucking matter. It doesn't matter like where I'm at. It just play it. You know, you can cue it up. You can add more energy to it. You cannot add any energy to it. It doesn't matter.
You can just let it go, and it's gonna happen.
Just let it go. Let it go.
So you mentioned Chief Keef and Finito, and if you scroll back, and I'm sure you will clean out your Instagram posts from time to time, which I'm the worst about doing. I think I have like 6,000 pictures posted, but your very first post right now is you, Maxo Cream, and Drake jamming to Finito. And I know you've told me the story before. I think we were intoxicated, among other things, but you know, I'm interested in hearing how that all happened in that night. And I know Drake may have just popped in, but there's not that many people that can say they were just hanging out with Drake and just being in that environment, in that circle.
So we drive to Houston, we get there, we do the show. Show does great and everything. Maxo's in Houston at this time, you know, just like visiting and stuff. And, you know, he tells us, hey, come pull up over here. and stuff. And he just gets us the address, and like we have like no idea, you know, what's going on and stuff like that. You know, we just gonna say what's up to the homie, you know. You know, most definitely gotta say what's up to him if he's in the city, and like we're both together and stuff. So, you know, went to go say what's up, and it's at this bowling alley, and you know, I'm like, wow, we at this fucking bowling, and then why are there so many fucking cars outside, like nice cars and shit like that, you know? And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, so they have this other section to this bowling alley that's like kind of a room, and it has like a bar inside and shit. And like I'm looking around, and I'm looking, and I'm like, bro, I know these people. I'm like, where do I know these people from? And I figure out, you know, that I know most people from Instagram and shit like that. You know, these are people who like pretty famous and shit like that, you know. And people, you know, that's in the city, you know, that I know that do shit and, you know, make things happen. And, you know, Maxo's there, say what's up to Maxo, and I look over there in the corner, and it's fucking Drake bowling. I'm like, wow, this is fucking random as fuck. I go to the bar, and I try to order a drink, and, you know, I go to pay, and they're like, don't worry about it, he bought the whole bar. I'm like, well, shit.
Give me two.
Yeah, shit. I spilled my damn drink, and I didn't even fucking care. I was like, man, just refill me, man. Refill me. So, you know, I'm chilling with Maxo. It's like me, Maxo, and Ali. You know, we just sitting there talking, you know, just catching up and shit. And Drake's walking by, and Maxo's like, hey, Drake, come over here. You know, and, you know, we, like, you know, they just chop it up for like a little bit. And Maxo pulls out his phone, and he starts recording and shit, and he's like, you know, get in and shit like that, you know, whatever like that. And, you know, there he goes, you know, in there, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm in a fucking video with Drake. You know, I had to drive back to Austin that night, and I worked in the morning, and like I didn't care, man. I was just like, bro.
So pumped. So, you know, I had to ask you about that because that's just like a prime story. Mm-hmm. But I guess to finish it up, like you were saying, you just started kind of a new venture, and you're just looking to do modeling and acting. And what made you want to step outside of your norm and the environment that you're familiar with and take on an entirely new adventure?
You know, I wanted to add on other things, you know, to me DJing, you know, to build my persona, you know, just like I said earlier, you know, like even with me DJing, I didn't want to be, you know, known as, you know, just Maxo's DJ. I wanted my own brand. I wanted my own, you know, persona. So, you know, I was like, at one point, you know, I was with Alec, and we were just talking about like, how can I get booked, you know, and increase my revenue, you know. We're always talking about how we gonna get more money and stuff. And we did get more money, but we got to like a ceiling, and we were just like, man, like this, you know, where we got to isn't enough, you know. Like, how can we, you know, up everything? And you know, we were just like looking at other DJs and stuff like that. And we're like, why are these DJs getting booked for so much money and stuff? You know, we know that like Carnage and Steve Aoki and, you know, these big DJs, you know, the top chain of DJs, because that's all we're looking at. We're not looking at nobody else who is not like a top DJ. We're looking at the top, and we're trying to figure out how the fuck did we get there. So I'm like, damn, you know, like, you know, they produce and stuff like that, you know, and I'm like, man, they do certain shit at concerts, like Steve Aoki was doing with the cake thing, you know, these different themes, you know, and, you know, we tried different stuff, and we were just trying to like figure out more things. And one of the things that came out was, we were like, man, you know, you say that you wanna act and you wanna model, you know, that's what that's gonna do is it's going to boost your brand. So then now people will be like, well, I want to book this man and don't even know that I DJ because they see me on the TV, you know. And then I tell them, hey, I DJ, and I can up like all of my prices. I can be doing, you know, 2 things at one time. So, you know, I just really just thought, hey, like now is the time to act, and I'm here, you know, act on those actions. And like, look at me now, you know, 3 months into actually doing it, because I didn't actually figure out how to do it or how to pursue it and for like another like 3 months. Like I was just trying to figure out, hey, like how can I do this? I was trying different stuff, and I finally found something that worked. And it's the sky's the limit now, man. I want to be, you know, the next, you know, like Childish Gambino, Idris Elba, but instead of them two, it's Lauren Syon. You know, like I'm doing it my way.
Your own persona, your own person.
Yeah.
All right, so this is mainly my last question is, what could others learn from you, your story, your decision one day to go from playing hot songs in the locker room to buying some DJ equipment and now, you know, just pursuing any opportunity that you can to make yourself successful? What do you think others could learn from that?
What they can learn is to be persistent and don't be scared to change. And then if something bad does happen, understand that that doesn't happen forever. You know, understand that, you know, I will get another opportunity. When I do get this other opportunity, I want to be ready. You know, I want this to happen. I want it, you know. And be serious with yourself. You know, if you bullshitting, be serious and be like, I'm bullshitting. You know, like call yourself out before somebody else call you out and you get all sad and butthurt. You know.
Hold yourself accountable.
Hold yourself accountable and go and make it happen. You know, it's 24 hours in a day. You know, you already waste a lot of it from like sleeping and doing other stuff. You know, be more effective with your time.
Definitely. All right, I've got a speed round for you. Best 6th Street food truck.
One Taco.
Who can request a song?
Birthdays or bridals.
All right. You already answered this one. I said West 6th or Dirty 6th, and you said West. Where will you be in 5 years?
Doing a lot of different things on your Netflix screen, at your club, and throwing events.
So when you get in the car and you're going to pick up a friend and you want to let them know that you're jamming a hot song, what song are you putting on?
Man, I'm putting on that Relays, Maxo Cream and Travis Scott.
There you go. All right, plug your social medias.
DJ Syon Cream. That's DJ SYON KREAM. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Find me on there, man. Say what's up. Don't be scared either. I don't bite, man. I promise you, man. Pull up to the events too.
Definitely. I will be in Austin on September 8th and 9th. If you're around town, I'm sure you will be. I'm going to link up with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I hit you up, man. Thank you for getting me on the podcast, man. Shout out Cream. Shout out the family. Shout out, you know, everybody who supported.
Definitely. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. I know this is round 1, so I'm, you know, learning how to do all of this as well.
Oh yeah,
so
bring me back, man. Bring me back,
dude. Yeah, it's only gonna get better with time, bro.
Yeah,
so.
watch, man. I'm pretty sure you know a lot of people, and it's just gonna go, man. Keep on going, man. The more episodes that you have, the more content you have, the serious people will take you.
I just want to thank DJ Syon for taking time out of his Sunday evening to come and sit down to talk with myself. I think we had a great conversation. We caught up on a lot of things that, you know, happened in our experiences together, and I think he told some awesome stories. It was a little longer than I thought, so I hope you stuck to the end, and I'm excited for what the next few episodes have in store. And, you know, the style or the formality of how it's made might change a little bit. I'm not too sure, you know. I'm just kind of going with whatever direction that it goes naturally. So I appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you on the next episode. Like I said earlier, be sure to follow the Instagram and Twitter. The Instagram is at the Mid-20's Podcast, and the Twitter is just at Mid-20's Podcast. And you can find us on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Still waiting on that iTunes hookup, so I guess when we get there, we'll be fully on track. You can also find us on YouTube as well. So if you wanted just to catch a YouTube clip of the video, then you can do that too.